Hey everybody, welcome back to my challenging channel. Today is Monday, September the 18th, 2023. And I've got to tell you a quick story that involves faith and water. So, what is this story? And what is this new format? Normally I'm used to seeing music when I come to this channel, Ray. Normally I'm used to seeing wildlife and nature, I'm used to hearing you talk about different things that you're going through. Well, there's nothing different about this video. The only difference is the scenario, which happens to involve Craigslist and an opportunity. So recently I saw on Craigslist, by doing a general search, that here in San Antonio there's different people looking for musicians to join them in their endeavors, or that they're asking if they can join someone else on their endeavors. And so I've been kind of closely watching that thread, and yesterday I saw somewhere in this proximity, like in this neighborhood, someone was asking for a musician, a guitarist, who could help their band. And their band was mostly going to be focused on worship, basically talking about faith and Jesus. And so I reached out to this group, whoever had posted the request, and I said, hey, I'm interested in this kind of stuff. And I even went so far as to share a link that said, this is one of my songs. And it basically says, especially if you listen to all the verses, the lines at the very end say, the devil is tricky, he's dealing in harm, to show up as beauty is part of her charm. Have you decided where you want to go? Have you decided, do you even know? And so this person wrote me back and said, I'm sorry, we're not interested in you because we only talk about things that have to do with Jesus. So either the tone of my song was misinterpreted, or maybe someone didn't like the very introduction of the song, which starts out saying, I met with the devil. And so last night I was thinking about this response, and I thought, well, there's someone else who met with the devil, and they went to the desert to fast, and they met with the devil. And that person, according to the stories, is Jesus. So I talk about these topics quite openly, quite frankly, and like a child with a childlike mind. So I wrote back to this person saying, you might want to reevaluate the lyrics of the song and see whether you think I'm not talking about the same subject that you're talking about, or if I'm talking about the same thing, but possibly from a different perspective. And I didn't hear back. But what I did hear this morning is the unusual sound of lack of water pressure. So today started out kind of like many other days, but without water pressure in this home. So as we were walking our dog and basically going about our business early, we were finding other people walking out early because it's been hot here lately in this city. And so a lot of people are walking early before the sun comes up. And during this experience, I was able to question a few people as far as whether they had some issues with their water pressure. And most people said, well, it's real low, but that's because a lot of people are moving in, or it's real low. And they weren't answering with enough concern to where I would think that they were having the exact same trouble that we're having in this house. So we've already got a service call in, but we have no water pressure. And I'm not really worried about it, but I tend to link together circumstances. And when I link together circumstances, usually I run into a situation like this where I talk with someone and they'll outright tell me, well, we need to, keep the faith, and we need to be thankful for what we have. And I am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm able to openly, quote unquote, complain about this situation, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm able to share this situation in a group setting like this, where you can know that basically there is zero water pressure where I'm at, and somehow I'm able to continue to navigate this circumstance without panicking, but also with a little bit of concern that this might be attributed to circumstances that might be due to collective groupthink. Now, before this situation, I had another situation where many of our fish died. And our fish died when I was having a conversation with someone who said that I was being hostile for asking a question that they had failed to answer several times. The only reason that I asked it several times is because it was of importance to what I do. I talk about wildlife and nature, and the questions I had were about a shared experience that I had with this person who inevitably denounced the conversation and any future conversations by saying that I was hostile. Right before that, I had a situation where I was in severe pain, and that occurred right after I talked with someone who said that I had a mental imbalance. And all of these things tend to seem unrelated, but the energy that we're sharing back and forth can in fact sometimes manifest in certain ways that might have to do with the situations that we're all going through. So today I'm going through a minor inconvenience, especially compared with people who are going through devastating circumstances. And while I continue to bring awareness to this situation without trying to introduce panic, let me just ask right here openly for all of us to say a prayer for one another so that we can go through our day without having any kind of these adversities that continue to slow us down from communicating with one another. And let us instead find ways that enable us to communicate with one another. If you like this communication, please click on the thumbs up. Please search my videos and look for the video on the neon fish that I posted. It was posted in the format of both a widescreen format like this, so that it could be shared in 4K, and also as a short, where the video is in a more vertical format, how most people hold their phones. And usually when you share a short, the shorts are viewed by hundreds of people. And in this particular case, everything that I've shared recently, since the point where I shared the gigantic moth video that I was able to share, has kind of gone over like a lead balloon. So if you are of the mindset where you have to click on the thumbs down, that's fine. That's an interaction, that's an engagement. But be mindful about how many thumbs down you're giving to people out there. Be mindful about how many dislikes and unsubscribes that you're giving to one another because of an egocentric way of thinking. So thanks so much for listening. I hope that everyone out there is able to safely navigate through these, the waters of life. Till next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.